Good afternoon. I'd like to call this hearing of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee to order. Today's hearing is entitled How to Best Improve Bus Safety on Our Nation's Highways. The order of business today will be opening statements by members, and then we have a panel of witnesses assembled today that will testify about the subject at hand. The order of business to proceed is I'll begin with my opening statement. We'll yield to other members, and then we'll try to expedite hearing from our witnesses, of which we'll hear from all of them and then take questions afterwards. So pleased to be with you this afternoon, and I'll begin by trying to lay some groundwork with my opening statement. I welcome our witnesses and members today. Thank you for coming back too. I know the House isn't in session until a little bit, well, it is in session, but not voting until later tonight. And the reason for this hearing is actually, I think, very important. We will, in a few weeks, we hope to roll out legislation that dramatically reestablishes, sets new policy for various modes of transportation. As some of you may know, we plan to roll out the new transportation legislation in two phases. Starting on Wednesday, we'll have a rollout of a draft of a passenger rail reform bill. We are going to introduce a separate piece of legislation dealing with that particular provision. We do have some provisions that are rather dramatic and change in the way things are currently conducted with our major passenger rail provider, and that's Amtrak. And we want full opportunity for, again, a new direction in passenger rail to be fully aired and also included in a separate bill, which we will see if we have adequate support in the House and Senate to move forward as part of the larger measure. The balance of the multimodal bill will be rolled out a few weeks afterwards. And we're doing it in a little bit different fashion. We started, as you know, hearing testimony from around the United States, started in Mr. Rahall's district in Beckley, West Virginia. We went as far as the Pacific Ocean and probably 2 or 3 dozen hearings around the country here in Washington to try to craft and assemble the best ideas for any reforms necessary or that people could provide the committee with. We ended up actually in this room. We had a little libation and pizza with members and discussed some of the basic parameters for the legislation. And during the past few weeks, our staff have been working on incorporating provisions for both the passenger rail segment and also for the balance of the modes in a legislative vehicle. We, again, hope to have that rolled out soon, but as they complete that work, we wanted to make certain that we had the very best provisions possible for bus safety. Mr. DeFazio, I want to thank him. I want to thank Mr. Rahall and others for cooperating and pulling this hearing together before we conclude the provisions of that bill. Mr. DeFazio had done hearings previously on passenger bus safety, and I think it's absolutely vitally important that we have the latest, most up-to-date input from some of those involved with this matter before us as we conclude and finalize the drafting of provisions for our larger bill. This all has been highlighted, unfortunately, by some very tragic, dramatic accidents that have taken place with some of our buses, our passenger buses. We had a horrible accident in March of 2011 on the New Jersey Turnpike We had another horrendous accident in New York with 15 fatalities and injuries in these incidents. And we've had, again, unfortunately, in North Carolina, another horrible accident in the Greensboro, North Carolina area where 4 passengers were killed and 53 others injured. So the purpose of the hearing is to look at our current laws, our regulations, and the administration of those provisions that we currently have in statute or in rules, and make certain that we have the very best measures in the bill that we're drafting. We've taken ideas from both sides of the aisle in our preliminary work, and hopefully we'll have some additional input today, because again, one fatality is far too many. Now let me say that, too, as I conclude, that the industry overall does have a very excellent safety record. Bus operations transport between 750 million and 800 million passengers a year, and that we have very few fatalities per mile traveled, and we have one of the greatest safety records, particularly among the well-known and legacy bus passenger companies. Unfortunately, that's not the case with many of the other operators, and we don't have an exact number. I asked for the number of operators, but that troubles me too, that we don't have that data. How can we monitor if we do not have the exact data? The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, we'll hear from representatives of that agency, is responsible for some of the federal enforcement and administration of the laws, and also our states are vital players, and we need to make certain that they also have in place, again, the very best safety provision so that any and all accidents can be prevented. May be impossible, but it should be our goal. So unfortunately, we're brought here by a series of bus tragedies that have captured the attention not only of Congress but the nation, and we want to make certain on the eve of finalizing legislation that will deal with that subject that we have the best possible provisions. I noticed that even over the weekend, I'm told that Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration has closed down a couple of operators, marginal at best operators. I'm glad to hear that, but when you have and I understand that they were actually transporting people under the bus. I don't know if it was in the luggage area or what, but that is not acceptable means of operation. And if necessary, we will provide in law or, again, working with our state partners, whatever measures are necessary to make certain that people are transported on buses safely throughout the United States. So that's our goal. That's our reason for this hearing. Appreciate, again, our witnesses, and hopefully we'll come out of this hearing a little bit more knowledgeable, a little bit more prepared to finalize the important legislation we're about to craft and submit. I will say, too, as we go forward with this process in closing, whether it's the passenger rail segment or the bill, not only do I want the Democrat minority members to have a full opportunity for participation, but also other members of Congress and the public and industry and others who are affected by the law, and any organizations that, again, support safety and good transportation for the United States of America. So we'll have a full opportunity to participate on Wednesday. We will be webcasting, I believe, at 11 o'clock, and people can go to our website and participate in the rollout of the first section of the bill. And then in several weeks, the same procedure will be followed. We'll also have a number you can call. We'll have ability to, you'll have the ability as public or interested parties to also ask questions as we roll out these new provisions in law. So again, we want full participation. I'm pleased that members are able to be with us again on short notice and our witnesses. With that, I'd like to yield to the ranking member of the subcommittee, Mr. DeFazio. And this is a full committee hearing. I thought it was important that we bring it to the full committee level. And I'm so pleased that he would come back and, again, continue his hard work to make certain that bus passenger safety is a priority. Mr. DeFazio.